Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is me, your board-certified fantasy football and all sports guru. Can I finish? It's been a while, but we're back in the studio with him. Oh, yeah, it's your boy, Benz LH, Antoine. What is going on, sir? It's been a minute. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, certified guru. Don't you got another name for yourself?
You know what? Do I need another name? I do not believe so, sir.
I think you do, because what would you call yourself if you wasn't a guru?
Hey, that's the thing, though. I'll always be a guru.
Okay.
That's just how it is. That's how the cookie they say crumbles. You know what I mean?
If you say so.
That's what it is. If you're a guru, you're born a guru. I don't tell you how you were born. Apparently, you were born tall, Asian, and sexy in your own mind. So I don't blame you for that.
Yet all those words came from your mind.
No. They came from A, you're light skinned. A, you're short. A, I can't take you seriously when you look at me like that. You're not supposed to. No, come on, man. You know where I got it from. Stop playing. What's going on, sir?
A lot, apparently.
Well, there is with you. You're a very busy man. You've had some very big blessings in your life, and I want to congratulate you about those blessings. It's going to be a very good year for you next year, sir.
It's been a very good year for me right now, so we don't have to wait till next year. We start right now. The party's already started.
Look at you.
It's a pool party, baby.
Pour that man a drink, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a pool party,
Pour
baby.
that man a drink. So what's been new in your life, sir?
Well, what's new is I'm still trying to figure out how the hell Draymond ended up punching Poole in the face and only got a 1-game suspension. He didn't even get a 1-game suspension. He got a fine. But you know what? I don't even think he should have got fined. Let's be real about this. We talked about this off air. I mean, brothers are gonna act up. You know what I mean? In practice, it's part of being a team together. It's part of fixing things that are wrong. I was watching the other day. I saw Shaq. I saw Barkley. I saw a lot of players in the NBA say, listen, this is part of the game. It's going to happen. Obviously, we live in an era where you can't cross the street without somebody filming you. You know what I mean? So I think because of that, it may have been a bit bigger than people made up. I think also picking on somebody that's not really your size is also part of the issue here.
Oh, I can see you doing that, though. Let me get a bit real quick. See what happens across the table.
If he went after Wiseman, I don't think it'd be the same conversation. I told you already, like you can never send a light skin to do a dark skin job.
See, that's exactly what I was saying. This is exactly where this mentality comes from.
If he was dark skinned, if Poole was dark skinned, they would have had less. There wouldn't have been as much. But because he's like, you don't believe so? No,
I believe like Willie Lynch convinced you of things that you're living with.
Man, listen.
Willie Lynch said divide the light and the dark and let them fight about it. Light skin and dark skin has nothing to do with it. I think
Willie Lynch didn't make no distinction between light and dark. He made
but he did though. He did though.
Father and the son.
No, he did father and son. He did man against woman, and he did light against dark. Let's not get into it. We're going to talk about it one day in depth on the podcast. Now, listen, sir. I think Draymond is the type of brother that would have went at anybody, given the fact that he was upset. I don't think he would discriminate like that. Draymond's one of those brothers that will go. He will go.
I mean, that was a pretty good punch. I'll tell you that.
Poole took it though. I
mean, he was pretty much knocked out.
Well, he didn't go gravy, but you know.
He was knocked out.
Wow.
He was knocked out. He's light skinned. Of course he got knocked out.
Again.
I mean, hey, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is, you know what I mean?
Self-racism. Go ahead.
It's not self-racism, I'm just saying.
No bad.
I'm just saying, I'm just calling it like it is.
But are you calling? Okay. Okay, apparently light-skinned people can't fight. Is that what you're saying?
No, not all. There's always exceptions to the
rule. like Tay Mac from The Last Dragon? Tay Mac can fight?
There's always exceptions to the
Bruce
rule.
Leroy, you know what I mean? He found the glow.
There's always exceptions to the rule. But in reality, what he did was like, I don't know what Poole, I don't want to know what Poole, nobody could tell me what Poole said to him though.
I don't know. And yeah, but okay, on a team,
must have said something.
On a team, do you see that stuff happening? Do you see that as part of the game? Do you see that
Yeah, it's part of the game. And, again, because he was light skinned, he didn't have his hands up. He wasn't ready. The thing is, if he was ready, that the punch wouldn't have landed. Because once you put your hands on somebody, who touched who first? He provoked him, yes, but who?
Well, no. Draymond did get in his personal space, and he backed him out of his personal space. He has a right to do that.
Once you do that, then anything's possible at that point. Now, the problem with Draymond...
But nobody's thinking, this guy's really going to swing on me like this. Nobody's thinking that.
No, they're not. But once you push someone, anything can happen.
Well, true.
So, listen, there was a little story. We'll see if it festers. Some people say that he's trying to get to L.A. We'll see. What
are your thoughts on that, though? Because, okay, but let's talk about what happened right after that. Golden State broke out the checkbook and paid everybody except Draymond. Is that a message?
The timing, yes. I believe that this is like, listen, they're paid. But he's also under contract, so it's kind of tough to say. I don't think Draymond would have got.
Yeah, but they were extensions. Everybody got extended.
Listen, the Golden State Warriors ain't winning nothing without Draymond. Nothing.
Okay.
He is the stir. What is that? What
the heart and soul? The stir stick?
He is the
captain that stirs the ship?
Oh yeah. He stirs that drink.
Right.
And it's all the drink is a Steph Clay combo, but without him, it don't work.
Because they're light skinned?
Because they need a dark skin to do their job, their dirty work.
I literally think you've lost your mind. Send your comments into Benz LH Antoine, not Brothers Talk Ball. I'm not arguing with nobody about skin color. I love it all. Speaking of that part of the world, wow. Obviously, this season just started. People aren't at mid-season form. We understand that. But a lot of surprises so far, I guess. One of them being, and I think I called you yesterday when I saw this, but man, your favorite player on planet Earth, maybe all time, LeBron James, at 30-something years old, scoring, give it to him, 31 points a game. But man, they look bad. There is no help on that team other than AD and him at all.
Only LeBron could make a team so stacked with talent look like they need more help.
Well, okay. First of all, you're going to have to slow down right now because that was a very, very misleading quote you just made. That team is nowhere near stocked with talent. There's AD. There's a very, very fallen off the wagon Westbrook. And let me explain something to you. That's it. That's not racked with talent.
This is the narrative they want you to believe. No, that's true.
Yeah? Okay, give me 4 players on the Lakers, besides the 3 that we just mentioned, that can get you to a championship. Go.
I'll give you.
Yeah, that's just me pouring a glass of bubbles while you talk for an hour.
I'll give you 3 Hall of Famers. How's that?
Please do.
That's more than what Steph has.
No. I said, okay, again, we're going to back up the ship, and we're going to listen, because I know you're looking at me.
3 Hall of Famers.
I said, give me 4 players on the Lakers besides the 3 we're talking about that can win you a championship.
No team. You can't ask that question about any team.
Oh, but you can, though.
Go ahead.
I will take Philly. Philly has 3 players and about 2 role players outside of there. I'll give you.
No, you said outside of the top 3 players.
Okay, outside of the top 3, give me 2 players. Give me 2 players on the Lakers that can get you somewhere beside the top 3.
Do it on any team. Pick any team and ask that same question.
You can do that on any team.
Go ahead.
I need to get.
Where's the sound of? Obviously, you got duped.
No. It got nothing to do with being duped. First of all, championships aren't being won by 3 players alone. If you look at Golden State last year, you had Looney that came off the bench, surprisingly played well, got himself paid. You had Poole that came up and actually stepped up to the mat and played lights out. You had your other boy who you don't like so much, Gary Payton Jr., the second, that even though he was injured a little bit, played lights out.
I'm a huge GP2 fan. I'm not a fan of his moves.
There you go.
I'm not a fan of the fact that he left Golden State. He left. You will never hear that name again. GP2.
That's what you said.
You will never hear that name again. Never.
But he got himself paid, though.
He got to take care of his family, yes.
But so like we're saying, I mean, there are players that have to step up and play role positions. I mean, not all starters are going to be on the floor at all times. You got to replace them with people. But the Lakers have nobody. And I mean, outside the top 3 that we talked about, there's no other 2 that measure up in any way in this league.
Look.
Watching that game last night was scary.
The problem that the NBA has is most teams don't have a system because they're trying to emulate Golden State's system, and they don't have the ingredients to make that drink. Okay, you need players that can handle the ball.
Boston had a system last year. I think Milwaukee has a system. I definitely know that Dallas has a system.
Okay, Dallas' system is Luka. It's called Luka, Luka. Boston system.
Wait a minute. Christian Wood is gonna shine this year.
Man, he ain't gonna do nothing.
If you watch that, obviously, did you see what he did last night?
Did he win last night?
That brother was but why did they not win? Why did they not win?
It's because the system is flawed.
No, because they weren't playing team basketball. They let him off the hook. They were up. They let him off the hook. They took the foot off the gas. You got to blame Jason Kidd for that.
There's only one system in the NBA. It's Golden State's. Nobody else has a system.
By the way, everybody, you're listening to a Golden State Warriors fan.
I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm just calling it like I see it.
And you're calling it like you want it, sir.
It's like sports is about systems. If you have a good system, you win.
I'm not even going to disagree with you, but I believe other teams have systems. I believe the way Boston concentrated on team defense got them very far last year.
Their defense was you were being told that the defense was strong, but Golden State showed you that it wasn't.
Well, we all can't be Golden State, sir.
Golden State showed you exactly what Jordan did to Dan Marley. He goes, okay, fine, you think he's a good defensive player? Fine, I'm going to show you he's not. And then what happened is that Golden State showed you that it's not really there.
But there were parts of that series, if I can remember, there was a little sweat on your brow.
You know what? The reason why is, and this is true, it's because I was believing the hype a little bit, and also there was some that was a tight series. That was not a garden variety 4-2 series. That was tight. You're down 1-0 and you're down 2-1. Very rarely are you down twice in a series and end up winning that series.
Facts.
So in that regard, yes, it was tight. You know, it was very, very tight. But the most important thing that happened was Steph Curry showed up in the biggest way he's ever has before. He showed up for 43 points in a game on the road when you're down 2-1.
Yeah.
That not only solidifies this most recent Finals MVP, it confirms the other one that he should have got, that Iguodala is holding for him at his house.
Right, for sure.
And it also, Durant's got one also that could have easily went to Steph.
Without question.
So he showed you that, okay, you know what? He got it. He's got that thing. What he did is so amazing. I don't even think people talk about it enough. Mm-hmm. The pressure, because if he doesn't do that and they go down 3-1,
everybody says it was Durant's team forever.
Exactly.
And he's lost in that mix.
Exactly. And it's very, very, very tough to shake that narrative. So he really, really, really dug down deep in the game on the road, hitting 3-pointer after 3-pointers for 43. That's like
crazy.
That's huge.
It's crazy.
You know, that's
huge.
Crazy. But you know what? I was watching something the other day, and I don't know. I think Will Chamberlain is the greatest of all time.
Wow, that's a real big left. Where did you get that from, sir?
It's just certain videos you watch of him, the way he was playing, the things he was doing. I don't think he valued winning as much as the next generation valued winning. I don't think, as the generations go, Magic and Bird, they valued winning, but I don't think it was such a major defeat, the fact that, you know, Magic.
No, I don't think so. I think they lived for the spotlight. They lived to win.
Exactly. No, the spotlight was there. What I'm saying is it wasn't an affront. If you want to look that up, you can. For Bird to lose to Magic or Magic to lose to Bird.
No, exactly.
It wasn't the same.
They were kind of even keel when it came to each other.
It wasn't the same. Like, they lost and they accepted that loss. Whereas Jordan came up and said, no, I don't accept these losses.
Right.
I don't accept. It's not the same. I don't even want. This is not going to be a rivalry. You will beat me down until I figure out a way to stop you from beating me down. There's no rivalry.
Detroit Pistons.
There's no back and
forth. But there was a rivalry with Detroit because it was a rivalry.
They only beat them once.
No, but they beat them twice. But the thing about the rivalry with
When
Detroit,
did they beat them twice?
Detroit has 2 rings, and they beat Jordan up twice.
I'm saying it's not a rivalry because as soon as Jordan won, that was it.
Right, but the thing about it was it took Jordan getting beat up for him to say, you know what? I know why we're losing. I'm not in good enough shape. They're beating me up too much. I got to get in that gymnasium, and I've got to start hitting people. When Jordan became, dare I say, the dark-skinned bully you are, when he became that dark-skinned bully, he never lost again because that feeling of him beating everybody up was like, okay, now that I know I can punch you in your mouth, you're never beating me. And that's what happened with him.
But that's why I'm saying I don't think these guys have the same value of, you know, like the rivalry that was about to happen with Golden State and the Lakers, or actually and Cleveland. That was a rivalry that would have happened. It was there.
It was a natural rivalry.
It was there. Golden State won the first time. You had 2 injuries. The second time, Golden State was a little bit injured, and they blew a 3-1 lead. Perfect. Why were we robbed of the next season? We were robbed of the next season because Durant came and joined the Warriors. Why? Because that's how LeBron plays. LeBron plays, he kicks below the table.
By the way, guys, all roads lead back to LeBron.
All roads lead to LeBron because he's the one that did this to himself.
Well, okay, speaking of which.
What he's living today, he did this to himself.
Yeah, but speaking of which, like, all your LeBron hate aside, like, there's something that you don't acknowledge about LeBron, and you have to stop because his greatness. LeBron is about to embark on passing Kareem.
LeBron is drugged up.
I'll finish my sentence.
He's drugged up.
LeBron is about. I'm going to say something that LeBron has that nobody else has that you never put into the mix.
Druggy.
Can I finish?
Can he shave his beard?
And he's saying that allegedly. Again,
Can he shave his beard?
Again, send your letters to Antoine Benz. Don't send them to me.
Can he shave his beard?
He can do whatever he wants to do. He's a grown man with
he
kids.
He can't shave his beard because then we're going to see the jawline.
I'll say it.
And we're going to see the drugs.
I'll say it. So, allegedly. So I will say that as we embark on LeBron becoming the number one scorer in the history of the league, which you never give him credit for.
Which means nothing.
It means everything because you say numbers matter. You cannot. Wait, stop. I gotta call you out.
So Kareem's the GOAT then.
I gotta call you out.
I'm sorry, is Kareem the GOAT?
You can make an argument for it, saying
But
he's
is
number
he the
one.
GOAT?
Who is facts over feelings? Who is that?
Chris Broussard.
And and his number one mouthpiece that backs him up every day. But you can make those arguments. You could be right about that. And the thing about LeBron that's amazing when you look at this player. Nope, and I'm talking even Jordan. Nobody's played with the scrutiny that one player has played with than LeBron James because think about it. LeBron came out of high school, and in high school they were calling him the next Jordan. Now, did he actually make it up that mountain to be the next Jordan? No. I don't think so, no. Did he just miss? Yeah. But he's going to have something Jordan doesn't have. A lot of numbers Jordan doesn't have. Maybe most points in the playoffs. Maybe most points in the final.
But not per game.
But here's the thing.
Not per game.
But you cannot, and you have to stop doing this because it really is feelings when you talk now.
No, it's not.
Because you take
facts.
because you take that away from him, and you can't.
I can't take what away from him?
You can't take his numbers away from him.
If he's the GOAT, then that means Kareem's the GOAT.
No, I didn't say he was the GOAT, and I didn't say he passed Jordan. I said he came up short. But you cannot, because he came up short, take away his greatness. If you look back at Wilt and you said, you know what, I have to rethink this, maybe he was the GOAT, maybe he was the greatest of all time, then maybe you need to stop with your feelings, go back and look at LeBron and see how great he's been over his career.
LeBron is a terrible basketball player to watch. He's just
you're out of your mind.
He's a bully. He's not a skillful basketball player.
Okay, you're talking, people are listening to you and they're saying, what I say all the time, and just because you hate on him, you can't talk like this because it makes it seem like you don't really know the game when you talk like that. LeBron, there's never been a physical specimen like LeBron ever. Can you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, so
except Wilt.
You could have said Shaq too, but because
there you go.
I'd accepted Shaq. I'd accepted Shaq before Wilt.
What?
But when I'd accept Shaq there was nothing before Shaq. I don't care. Wilt, add 2 Wilts and a Kareem, throw in a Bill Russell, and you got half of Shaq. Shaq was that imposing. But I'm saying, because of his skill set, because of what his body was, because of how big he is, and how fast he moves just only that big, you've never seen that before. You cannot take that away from the man's greatness. I don't know why you do.
I told you before. I've told you 1,000 times. The only thing I take away that takes away from LeBron's greatness is LeBron himself. If he would just
feelings.
No. I'm saying let me state my case. If LeBron didn't flop, number one, if LeBron would show up in tough situations and come through, and not look to someone else, and not look to someone else to save the day. If he actually did the job himself, it would be impossible to deny his greatness or to discredit him.
I agree.
But he didn't hit that shot against Golden State. That was Kyrie. He didn't hit that shot. That was Kyrie's shot. He blocked Iguodala, which is equally as important. But guess what Jordan did? Jordan stole the ball. Jordan scored. Stole the ball. And then came back again.
Yeah.
And so he didn't. Scottie Pippen could have easily stole the ball. Scottie Pippen was a great defensive player. But who stole that ball at that time? Mm-hmm. It was Jordan.
My thing is, you're absolutely right. And listen, you'll live in some kind of vacuum for the rest of your life if you keep on looking at Jordan when you look at LeBron. And that's what I want you to do. Stop looking at everybody else and just look at LeBron himself. What he has accomplished in his life is nothing short of amazing.
Also, if he hadn't lost 6 times in the finals, that would be better than what it is now. Because that's what he has. You can't. You say it's feelings, but I mean, it's not my feelings. He's the one who lost 6 times, not me.
I think it is feelings, though. It is feelings.
Okay, so did he lose 6 times in the finals?
Wait, okay. If you're rational about it, I get it. But when you sit down and you go, LeBron James is the worst player in the NBA to watch. That's crazy when you talk like that.
Okay, hold up. Has he lost 6 times in the finals?
Yes.
Okay. Has he won less times than he's won in the finals?
Yes.
Okay. Is he the only player in the top 10 of all time with a losing record?
Yes, but can you say out of everybody you mentioned, except for maybe Bill Russell, he's made it to the finals more than anybody?
But
that's got to account for something.
Okay, so the Buffalo Bills should get credit for going to the championship
they
4
should.
times and losing, but they don't.
But hold on. But they should.
But they didn't win any.
Okay, listen. Making it to the Super Bowl. Wait a minute. Making it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row is a feat that's maybe not going to be repeated. And here's the problem with the way people look at history. It's not the team that loses' fault that people don't want to look at them as good as they are. It's not their fault. But show me another football team that's going to make it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. It doesn't happen. If they win one of them, they're great.
To win the game.
Nobody doubts that, B. But you can't take away somebody's greatness because they fall short.
Play to just play it. You don't play to just
That's what she said. Again, listen, if I can get serious for a second. I just don't like the way history records losers.
Dan Marino does not have a Super Bowl.
No.
But he has an appearance.
And why doesn't he?
Because
he never got a running back. Thank you, Randall Cunningham.
He never got, no, it's true. And he didn't, he essentially
I'm looking at you, Lamar.
Listen, he didn't have the team to win a Super Bowl. But that being said, his position as an all-time great is there, but you can never look at him as the greatest.
Listen, we can't have this argument about quarterbacks because even though we don't want to agree with who's number one, I have to give in and say he's number one.
Who?
I don't believe for 1 minute Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback to ever play football, but I have to say he is based on facts, not feelings, whether I like it or not.
If Aaron Rodgers was born in the system that he was born in, he would have had 10 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
it's a system.
So what half the people in the league can't.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's a system.
Not so much. And it was proven that it wasn't the system when he won without the system and Belichick didn't.
He won without the system because he created a new system, which is the LeBron system, which is bring all the best players to the same team and convince everybody that it's not a super team.
Well, they were there when he got there. They were there when he got there.
Gronk wasn't there when he got there.
Yeah, but Gronk wasn't the greatest player on that team.
Neither was Antonio Brown.
No, but they weren't the best players on that team.
Who's better than him over there?
Both Godwin at the time.
Who's better than him over there?
Excuse me. Both Godwin.
Check the stats.
And Mike Evans were better than both of those.
Listen, check the stats. In the season that they won, Antonio Brown was the man. True or false?
No, he was good, but he wasn't the man. Mike Evans has been the man over there for 5 years.
Let me ask you a question. Gronk and Antonio were the two best options on that team.
No.
No?
Not even close.
Okay, so who had the most receptions? Was it not Gronk?
It was Mike Evans. Not even close, my friend.
It was Gronk.
No. It couldn't have been Gronk because Gronk came halfway through the season. And Antonio came like almost a third into the season.
No.
My friend.
Okay.
You know what? You know what? Yeah. Grab yours and I'll grab mine.
Go ahead.
All right?
No. You mean your computer?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure people understand.
Grab your horn.
Yeah.
Talk to the people.
I'm talking to the people while you check up and see how many receptions Gronk has and Mike Evans. And you tell me who was more important. Who was more important in the Super Bowl? Mike Evans or Gronk or Antonio?
Mike Evans was our MVP, and Godwin was even better than both of them.
I'm sorry, who was the MVP?
Hold on, I didn't say. Okay, we all know who the MVP was. That's not the point. I'm saying who was the best on that team. Mike Evans was the best on that team. Godwin was definitely second. Then Antonio, then Gronk.
Okay, even if you say with more confidence, doesn't make it real. Did you remember when Brady got suspended for 4 games?
Of course.
What was that for?
It was either Deflategate or the checkbook when they were checking the Jets' plays.
No, that was a $1 million fine and draft picks. The actual next infraction, which is the one I'm talking about,
Deflategate,
was 4 game suspension for Brady. So if he got suspended 4 games, right, for doing something like that, who's to say that he didn't do more cheating? Who's to say?
Oh, I agree.
So that doesn't discredit him?
I agree. You get no argument here.
Well, then how can you be the GOAT? If you tainted maybe one of those games, how are you the GOAT?
I don't contend that he is. I just can't take the rings away from him to say that he's not. Well, it's like it's the Jordan argument. It's the one that you apply to everything. But at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. He has 2 hands to put rings on. You can't argue with that.
Okay, that's great.
I want to, but I can't.
Listen. This is the problem. Steve Nash won 2 MVPs, and no one can take that away from him. But if you were really watching, you would know that he wasn't the MVP.
Shaquille O'Neal was.
Okay, and then the following season?
Shaquille O'Neal was.
No.
Every season Shaquille played, every season he was MVP. Or you can give it to Kobe. One of those two.
Exactly.
One of those two.
Yeah.
But you're not going to give it to a white guy. They need white players in the league.
Well, listen, he had the...
But I'm not going to hate on Nash.
The criteria...
We saw him a couple times in Vancouver.
No, the criteria was...
And I worked out at his gym.
The criteria was the best player on the best team. But then Jokic has been winning MVP, and he wasn't the best player on the best team either. Oh, but he's also white. Oh, look at that.
And they're saying last night during the game, he is the leader for MVP this year.
Oh, you can't be a leader after 2 games.
Well, they said, yeah, but you know how they crown people before the season starts.
Yeah, listen.
And we're saying the odds-on favorite for MVP this year is going to be Luka Doncic. And he shoots it too. He missed. So coming down the court, that was exactly what happened during the game.
Terrible.
And he got last rock and missed. But like the Nike commercial said, Michael Jordan said, I missed 2,473 game-winning shots. Doesn't matter. Hey, when it counts.
Luka Doncic is not the best player in the league.
Who is the... Okay, so let's take a look at this, okay? If obviously, I'm a fantasy man. I'm going to give you the top 5 picks in fantasy in the exact order. Okay? We have the big center that does everything. Blocks, steals, assists.
Who, Giannis?
Nope.
Oh, who, Embiid?
Nope.
Who?
His color is white, my friend.
Brook Lopez?
Nope. Nurkic.
Nurkic?
Yeah.
Nurkic?
Nurkic, number 1. Nurkic statistically in fantasy basketball.
No, Nurkic. Jokic.
Are you finished?
Jokic or Nurkic? Nurkic.
Yes.
Nikolai Jokic.
Yes.
Who does he play for?
Can't remember. Utah. Is it Utah? Utah. Isn't it Utah?
Listen, forget about this racial thing.
Okay, but wait a minute. But seriously, okay, he's ranked number 1. Number 2 after him is Embiid. After Embiid, it is Durant. After Durant, it is Jonas. After Jonas, it's Luka and Steph. That's your top 6 in fantasy basketball.
Giannis?
Yes.
Durant is finished.
I had a chance at Durant 4 times, and I passed it off.
Durant is finito.
Mm-hmm.
He better hope he doesn't make the finals, because it's going to be obvious at that point that Steph is going to annihilate him.
Right.
And it's not even because he's a better player. There's no way he's a better player if they were playing one-on-one.
By the way, the Golden State lit the Lakers up for 30 on opening night, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Wow.
So Durant is up
Statement.
there. Durant, some people make the wrong decision at the wrong time. Even though he made the right decision at the right time just 3 years earlier. He was a step ahead, and he outplayed himself.
Yeah.
He outsmarted LeBron. He basically did a chess move where LeBron beat his ass when he had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and Durant was by him. He goes, man, that's a stacked team right there. That's tough to beat. He learned his lesson, and then he said, all right, cool. Then he saw what happened in Golden State. They called him, and he said, all right. He was very smart. Even though he got flack for it, he was still very smart. And he was very clutch. And he had an easy job. My job is to be the dark-skinned nigga to these light-skins. Because you could never send a light-skin to do a dark-skinned job. Who hit the biggest shots? Kevin Durant. Who was the big brother? Kevin Durant. Who subsequently made the biggest mistake of his career?
By leaving?
Kevin freaking Durant. And before he left, he made another ridiculous decision. Why in the hell was he trying to play against Toronto in the first place? You already injured. You know you leave.
Wait. You cannot take the heart out of. You can't take the heart of a champion.
Wow.
Champion's always going to have a heart, my friend.
Well,
always.
Well, his heart right now is going to keep him out of any other rings. Only 2 rings he has. People thought it was going to be Steph Curry being asterisks with those rings, but it's actually going to be Durant. They're going to be like, those are Steph Curry rings.
So do you believe that Embiid is number 2?
Unfortunately, as much as I love Embiid, I don't think he has it. There's an it. That you have to be a star.
And you say Embiid doesn't have the it factor?
He doesn't have the it factor. As a basketball player, I'm talking about.
Wow.
When I mean the it factor, I mean Giannis scored 50 points in a closeout game.
Yeah.
Hit all his free throws, and then went out and got a 50-piece of nuggets.
But you better go find him again because he's terrible at the line this year.
No, terrible at the line this year. But the point is, when it was time, he did special things at the special moment, and he got himself that ring.
Funny, you know who was like that too? Nobody gives him credit for it because nobody remembers. But Shaq. Shaq always hit it when he had to.
Yes. But the thing about Giannis is he went out and got a 50-piece, 50 piece. What was it? 50 nuggets?
Yeah.
Because he got 50 points. I think the combo comes in like, I don't know what.
And the cola and all of that. And with the side drink. Yeah,
this guy said, I did it the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a direct
quote from him.
When you do things the right way, people respect you more.
Facts.
It doesn't really matter. If Giannis's ring is worth more to me than any one of LeBron's rings. It's like his first ring was on a super team. His second ring was also on a super team.
You keep on saying LeBron was on super teams. Who?
Miami.
Okay.
And then his third ring was also on a super team.
Him and Kyrie's ring was just him and Kyrie. There were
what about Kevin Love?
What about Kevin Love? Kevin Love was a good, solid player.
Good, solid player.
I'm sorry. And he was an all-star, but he wasn't like he wasn't a needle mover.
He wasn't a needle mover. That's the trick. That's the mind game right now. Convince people that it's not a super team. That's the game.
Kevin Love was not a needle mover. I'm sorry.
Kevin Love, when he was in Minnesota, what was he?
He wasn't your first draft pick in fantasy basketball.
When he was in Minnesota, what was he? Check the stats.
He was 2020. I get it, but he wasn't your. I get it.
So who's 2020 now?
A lot of 2020s.
Who's 2020 now?
Giannis is 2020?
No, he's not 2020.
And sure he
2020 as an average, not as a
as an
game.
average. You're going to tell me Giannis does not put up 20 boards a game?
He doesn't get 20
Embiid doesn't get 20 boards a game? You're wilding.
Who's the last player to get 30 boards in a game? Let me answer you. Kevin Love. Kevin Love is a monster.
No, he was a monster.
Kevin Love was a monster, and he's still playing in the game. If Kevin, put it this way,
I'll give it. Okay, I'll give it to you. Whatever. You can convince me. I want to sit there and rip up Kevin Love. You know what I mean? I love you, Kevin.
The guy is a good player, but the thing is, you got to play in the right system. When you're in the right system, you shine. If Kevin Love was to play the minutes that Clay plays, even to this day, the only drop off would be on the defensive end. It's different because he doesn't play as low as, a healthy prime Clay plays. He'll play a bigger player. But if you look at what he can do offensively, even to this day, right now, today, he can fill in very well for what Clay does because it's the system. I'm not saying Clay is not a great player. Clay could probably explode for more out of a different system. That system is actually hindering him because it's a system that is catered for Steph and for him.
Right.
What if he had a system that was just for him? But the problem is this.
You're talking 5 years ago. He's not that at the age anymore. He has to stay in the system. If you got traded tomorrow, he's not going to be the Steph of his team.
If Klay Thompson gets traded to the Lakers, they're a championship contender. That's how important he is. Because you know what? If you can play your man and limit your man to less points than
after the Achilles, though, maybe before the Achilles.
This version of Klay,
you think
even
so?
last year's version of Klay. It might look like he wasn't a healthy contributor, but he was. And you know why? Because not only do you know he can hit that shot, he can get scorching hot. Even if he hasn't done it in 2 years, 3 years,
these are facts.
He can score 60 points in a game. You know that. He can score 37 points in a quarter.
But you can't bet your mortgage on him doing that, though.
No, you can't. But
you can bet your mortgage on Steph doing it, though. Whoa.
Yeah, no, for sure. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't leave Klay open. I wouldn't leave him open.
I agree.
If you can't leave him open, that's a problem. If he's coming off injury and you can't leave him open, what does that tell you? The Lakers don't even have one laser, as LeBron said. You know what I give LeBron credit for?
His shortcomings?
Game 1, he's already manipulating. He's already saying, we don't have the shooters on this team. We don't have any lasers. It's not like we have any 40-point career shooters. I hope he knows he's including himself because he's not a 40% shooter either. Yet, so if you're not a 40% shooter, why are you shooting 10 threes? 10. Why are you shooting 10 threes?
He had to take it on his back.
And only hit 3 of them.
He had to take it on his back.
Why are you shooting 10 threes?
Look, great players take it on their back. You can't blame him for taking it on his back. You put it on his back, baby.
Steph Curry is most likely the greatest player to ever play basketball. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have. No. And here's why. There has never been a player that is able to increase or maintain his 3-point accuracy while increasing volume.
I agree.
This is why Steve.
But we can say he's the greatest shooter. Hold on.
Steve Kerr.
6-time defensive player of the year.
Steve Kerr is the most accurate shooter in 3-point in history of the NBA. Steve Kerr, most accurate
with half the shots that Steph has taken.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Mm-hmm. There is neither Ray Allen nor Reggie Miller could jack up 15 threes a game and maintain that percentage.
Facts. And they know it.
And this is why Klay Thompson gets looked over, because he shoots almost as many threes as Steph does, and he shoots to he's within a point. I know it's a percentage point. It's a lot. And his shots are usually on balance and not off the dribble. But that being said, the volume, if you remove Steph, the greatest 3-point shooter is Klay Thompson.
Right.
Not by much, but by a little bit.
Right.
And so that's how good Steph is at shooting threes. But now, in this last run, he showed you, not only am I a great 3-point shooter, but he finally figured out what I've been begging for him to do all along. When the game's on the line, drive.
Yeah.
Because he's also one of the best finishers. So hold up. If you're one of the best finishers, and you're one of the best scorers, and you're one of the best passers, and you got one of the best handles, and you're the greatest shooter, what does that add up to?
It adds up to, until you call yourself the best defensive player at your position, you can't be the GOAT. And we all forget there's only one reason why that man is the GOAT. And that's because they called him the Deion Sanders of his side of the court.
Who's that?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The ball did not go to his side of the court because they just couldn't get it past. If you look at NBA players of the time, they said, people don't understand how well he played defense, and you just didn't go over to his side of the court.
Well, if you want to use defensive prowess,
it's got to be 6-time MVP, league MVP.
No, he's not. It's 5-time.
Okay.
It's 5-time.
Oh, my bad. I forgot one.
It's 5-time.
5-time league defensive player of the league.
6-time Finals MVP. 5-time MVP. 6-time MVP is
defensive player of the year, though. We're talking about defensive. We're talking about all first team.
All defense.
All defense.
All defense. Okay, so listen. If you want to talk about defense, then that completely wipes LeBron out the equation.
But yeah, again, all roads lead back to LeBron. No, I'm making the point about Steph.
No, but I'm saying
you can't call Steph the GOAT.
Okay, no problem. But by doing that, you're taking LeBron way out the conversation.
But first of all, I didn't put LeBron in the conversation.
No, I'm saying
like I said, LeBron falls short for me for all the reasons we mentioned. But like I said,
because then we got to stop putting
you
Kobe
cannot take away his greatness.
Kobe up there.
We got Kobe gets a different look from me.
And
I'm not just saying because it's R.I.P. Kobe, we love you. I'm not just saying because I'm looking back in retrospect in reverence of him. I'm just saying the only reason why Kobe doesn't get the GOAT from me is because he didn't make anybody around him better.
That's the narrative they told you.
No, here we go.
You can't prove it.
There's no they. I can make up my own mind.
No, you can't.
I can't make up my own mind.
You can't. Because how do you prove
Did you just say I can't make up my own mind?
You can't, because you cannot prove to me that he didn't make anybody better.
Who? He had good players that stayed good. He didn't take any good players and make them all-stars. None of them.
What about Paul Gasol?
How many times do you want to have this conversation,
what
man?
About Lamar Odom?
Paul Gasol was an all-star when he got there. Odom never lived up. Odom never lived up to his potential. Artest was great before he got there.
He lived up to it when they won back.
But hold on, and he was a gun for hire. Let's relax.
When they won back to
hold
back.
On, let's relax. He was a gun for hire. He was not a Laker. Let's relax.
So what was he?
He was an Indiana Pacer.
Indiana
the
Pacer.
Malice in the Palace, baby. Him and your boy Steven Jackson.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Lamar. Okay.
Yeah. So, but he never made them all-stars. They were good before they got there, and they stayed good. He didn't make anybody great.
And you know what someone said the other day? Someone said, if LeBron is so good at making everybody better, then how come he's always complaining about not having enough help?
But only you said he has all-stars teams. I say LeBron has 6 losses because he didn't play with anybody on those teams. And you got to congratulate him for the 4 that he had.
He lost twice.
Because 2 of the 4, he had nobody.
He lost twice with the Miami super team.
Yeah.
He lost twice. He lost to Dallas, which was basically a one-man
But
show.
everybody says, and everybody knows, he shouldn't have lost that championship.
Okay, but he did.
He choked.
But he did.
He's allowed to choke.
But he did.
I agree.
You shouldn't have done that. But he did. He lost because he's a loser. It never ends. He is a loser.
Can we get back to the season? Because I can't have a 45-minute conversation about LeBron.
And Kyler Murray, it's a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is not as good as he thinks he is. He really isn't.
You know what? Okay, here's a top 10 pick. That Kyrie Irving was a top 10 pick in fantasy basketball, and I don't know where. Do you still see him as a top 10 player?
Top 10 player.
Yeah.
Top 10 talent.
Top 10 player.
Well,
if he's gonna be in the top 10, he's gonna be a top 10 player.
No, hold on. Top 10 talent. Yes.
Player. If we're drafting a team right now, and you
Mm-hmm.
get the number 10 pick in the league, you're gonna be looking at Kyrie Irving. Right above him may be Dame. Right below him may be Trae Young.
He is a top 10 player, but I don't know if
is he Dame or Trae? Are you taking Dame, Trae, or Kyrie?
Kyrie. And
out of those 3?
Easily.
Woo!
Easily.
I gotta find something here. Hold on.
And
that's you getting shot in the back from somebody you talking like that.
And here's why. If Kyrie played.
Why we ifing?
No, hold on. This is an if already. You said if I had a choice between Kyrie, Dame, or Trae, it's already an if.
And you're starting off with a hypothetical, but go ahead.
I'm saying, and if Kyrie played, if they all 3 played in the same system, Kyrie's skills would outmatch those of Trae.
But again, we're not talking about systems. We're talking about players.
Well,
and if you think as a player, he's better than those 2 players right now. I'm not saying at some point. I'm talking about right now, today.
He's better. He's better. Yes, he's better.
I'm starting to believe you don't really know basketball.
He's way better.
I'm starting to believe you don't really know basketball.
Trae don't even come in this game. Trae's not even. Talk Dame.
Are you crazy? The amount of assists and the amount of threes that they put up, Kyrie doesn't do.
Okay, here's the problem.
Kyrie doesn't even get assists anymore.
Hold on. How can he when all he does is play iso ball? He's being asked to score in the Steve Nash system.
You know I'm happy about that because I made a mistake. I pressed Dame. I think I told you this. I forgot to take it off and I ended up with Harden. But why I'm not upset about that is because Doc Rivers said, I need you to shoot the ball.
And this is going to last about 18 to 20 games before the real James shows up.
I don't care. He gave me 25 the other day.
But
I'm good for now.
Listen,
I'm good for how you're playing right now. I don't care about the season. I don't care about next week. Right now.
Here's the problem in sports. People underestimate. They never understood the value of Clint Capella when Harden had him as an outlet.
Chose him twice this year in 2 of my leagues.
They never understood the value. It doesn't mean Clint Capella is an amazing player.
It means he gets rebounds and he does the dirty work.
Not only that, he's an outlet for James Harden. And by being the outlet for James Harden, he becomes more valuable, just like Draymond is more valuable to Golden State than he would be to anyone else. If you bring Draymond to Lakers, it ain't going to do nothing because LeBron don't run around like Steph do. So he's not going to create nothing for LeBron. Right. LeBron wants to be Magic, but he ain't Magic. That's the problem. And even though I agree with my man Skip Bayless on a lot of stuff, his blasphemous take, LeBron is the best passer in basketball. I'm like, oh, please. This is just travesty. You got to understand something. You're only as good as the system you play in. You take Steph Curry right now. You put him on Brooklyn. You think he's gonna be able to do what Steph Curry? One player can maul Steph Curry. One player can maul Steph Curry if they got their hands on him. But what do? They put him in a system where you can't put your hands on him.
Right.
So now when you can't put your hands on him and he can play, man, he's tough to guard. His cardio.
So you're saying that's what makes Kyrie great? Because he plays iso ball and you can't stop him one-on-one?
No, you can't stop one-on-one. No, I'm saying.
But as a point guard, who does he make better?
He's playing in a shitty system. Is what I'm saying. When Durant was with Golden State, he didn't realize it, but he was in the best system ever. Because every now and then they need a one-on-one player to get them out of a rut, to get them out of when they need a big bucket. So what they did, they threw the KD on the other side. He was on 1-on-1. You can't even double him because of Steph and Clay. He was on path to win 6 or 7 rings, easy, with 4 or 5 MVPs, easy. But he didn't get it. He thought it was about something that it's not. And once you realize that you're just a spoke on the wheel, when you get that, then you appreciate your position and you say, you know what, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be cool because I'm in a great position. And in the end, no one's gonna remember. No one remembers that Kareem played with Magic. They only remember that he's got six MVPs and
they know he played with Magic.
No, but I'm saying, but they don't discredit him for that.
Right.
They don't remember that part. They're not old enough. They're not skilled enough. They don't remember. All they see is that, Kareem's got a lot of points and he's got a lot of chips. But I look at the record.
They don't even see James Worthy.
Coming
out with one hand in the air and killing people. And North Carolina with Jordan.
This is the thing. Only thing that cares about, and that's why Herm Edwards is my favorite. You play to win the game. So in the end, if you're so great, how come you didn't win more?
Because maybe you played just to play. You play just to play?
You don't play to just play.
You play just to play?
You play to win.
Why do you play? So you just play to play. Why do you play? You play.
You play to win the game.
You play to play?
You play to win the game, baby.
Not higher. Play to play? You play to win the game.
You got to play.
You play to win
the game.
So, having said that, let's take a look at my roster this year and tell me what you think.
But you didn't check out the stats. I thought you were looking for stats before.
Let's check out my roster and see if you think I have what it takes.
Not fantasy stuff again.
Yeah, let's take a look at my roster. So, at guards, I got James Harden. I got Klay Thompson. I got Devin Booker. And my last guard is Jordan Clarkson. Now, what do you think about my guards?
I think that who's he playing for? Jordan? Is he still with Utah? I can't keep up.
He's still with Utah.
He's still with Utah? Okay, that's not going to work out well for you.
Well, that was kind of like that. To me, I got him in the last round, only to make sure I have a guard on the floor. That's starting.
You know what team he used to play for?
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles Lakers.
Right.
Man, could they use that guy now?
Feel me?
Man, could they use that guy
Crazy.
now? Man, can they use what's the other? They had like 6 players that they got rid of because of Anthony Davis is a terrible. This guy's terrible. This is the karma. This is what LeBron gets. You think you're smarter than everyone, so you got him.
But the Lakers will win if they go through Anthony Davis. If they got to stop acting like LeBron's the number one, it's Davis. LeBron's day is done.
Well, I mean, listen. It's impressive that he's able to score the ball still at this age, at this clip. It's impressive. Yeah, those you can't.
No, it's got to be.
You can't front on that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't result in winning.
No, because you can't make him your first option.
Because his player's scoring 24.
Yeah.
So you're only up 6. That's the problem.
You still want to be up 6. Okay, my forwards are, if you consider Klay a forward, he'd be my forward. Mm-hmm. Malik Beasley, Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Kuzma, and Pascal Siakam. And don't forget Foreigner over there with the Knicks.
Fournier. You called him a foreigner.
Fournier. And I took Fournier because of the threes.
Siakam, I'm not down.
I don't know why you don't like this guy. I was iffy, but I like the way he scores. He fouls a bit too much. I like Siakam and gets boards. And you want a power forward that can get you boards, and he'll give me 10 a game.
Listen. You're avoiding the subject. I want to know what you think about your Dallas Cowboys.
Hold on, no, wait a minute. We're not finished. Let's finish with this first.
We're finished.
Let's finish with this first. So you don't like my forwards? Is that what you're saying? My centers are Wiseman, Zubac, and Kevin Love.
Oh my God, terrible.
And Nurkic.
Kevin Love, Nurkic.
Nurkic. When I say Nurkic, and he gave me 10 last night. He gave 10 and 14 last night. So I can't get mad at him.
I mean, Wiseman will give you 8 and 6.
Yeah, I think he's a bit higher than that. I think he'll give me 15 and 9.
How many?
15.
As an average?
As an average, 15 and 9
for the year.
Yeah, no. I think he'll finish. I think people are sleeping on him. He's my sleeper this year.
He might get 15 rebounds before he gets 15 points.
No, I think he's going to go 15 and 9 this year.
Because I don't think he's going to play enough to get that.
That's true.
If he plays, the thing is,
they got to remember he's a young buck.
Yeah, but he don't play enough minutes to get that. You know what I mean? And don't forget the minute. If he does that, the team is going to play differently. because they don't forget what they do. They hunt open threes. Now, I know people don't understand basketball, don't get that.
True.
They hunt open threes. So they create opportunities to get open threes. The threes that Steph hits are not always open, don't get me wrong. But he hits enough open threes that you overreact to him, and all of a sudden now when he feels it, he starts hitting threes.
That's why my other sleeper is Devin Booker. If he stays healthy, he's a problem.
Devin Booker's a problem, but he doesn't have a system either. They don't have a system.
No, they played all wild last night.
They don't have a system.
They were like, he was all over the court last night.
But are you surprised at how many teams don't have a system? Is that not surprising to you?
I don't know, man. I think they think talent.
No, but I'm saying
system.
Jordan didn't have any rings until he had a system.
Yeah, facts.
That was Phil Jackson's number one pitch.
We've got to get the ball in everybody's hands, Mike. You can't take every shot. I'm not Cunningham. I don't like this guy.
It's just like,
but I got to listen to him.
It's just
like me get better.
When Denzel asked Spike to fire Wesley Snipes, he asked him to fire him, and he said, "No, I won't fire him." And then that's when Denzel...
I didn't know that story. Why did that happen?
More Better Blues.
Really? So what did you like about Wesley?
That he was good, apparently.
Really? Is that what it was?
I don't know what it was, but he asked him to fire someone else. He said yes. Asked him to fire someone else. He said yes. Then he asked him to fire him. He said no. No, I won't fire Wesley. Wesley Snipes is a damn good actor.
Amazing actor.
And Denzel is...
What he wants to be.
Denzel is an amazing actor and more amazing than him. But he's amazing too. And he felt it necessary to ask to fire him.
Ooh.
Yeah, look it up. It's crazy. It's a crazy story.
We'll talk offline about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into my Dallas Cowboys, let's get into the moves that have been made in the league in the last 48 hours. The San Francisco 49ers acquired...
McCaffrey.
Yes. Now, I think he's made of glass.
They're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, here we go. They're
going to the Super Bowl.
I'll let you go. Okay, tell me why they're going to the Super Bowl.
They're going to the Super Bowl because they have a system. See, it's funny.
Jimmy G is going to get them there? Jimmy G.
Hold on. Here's the situation. Jimmy G was able to not screw it up long enough for them to get there the last time they got there, right? And he was actually winning the game, or Mahomes was losing it, however you want to look at it. But the system is in place. So what happens now is that McCaffrey's going to come and he has a system to play in, and he has a perfect complement of skills to flourish in that system. And then once they free up Debo to not be on the floor, to not be on the field as often, and the possibility of getting hurt by running the ball like a madman, he can be more receiving. You know what I mean?
Even as a receiver, he's okay, whatever. I'd rather him be a receiver than a running back anyway. I got this
as a defender or as his team.
I just don't know. I think he's.
You don't think Debo's a monster?
I don't even think he's a top 20 receiver. Like, do
you think he's a top 20? But he's a top 20 football player.
Yeah, as what they use him for, this whole wide back thing, I think he's genius.
Okay, so what I'm saying,
but it doesn't scare me as a wide receiver.
He might think he's a wide receiver, but the point I'm trying to make is by having McCaffrey,
it opens him up for sure.
There you go, but then again, they already have a system. This is the problem, and this is the problem even for your great Dallas Cowboys. I ask you, what's the system?
Well, we have a very good system.
What's the system?
We're running the ball. We're keeping the problems to a minimal. And nobody wants to understand this, but we have the best defense in the league. We're going to get to the quarterback. We're going to get to the ball. We're going to keep the team off the field.
You have a good defense. But the
defense works like this. You keep the other team off the field. You keep the ball out of their hands. And then you score. And then you force them to open up, throw the ball, and then Micah kills people.
Okay.
Very easy system, B.
But what about Philadelphia's system?
Fuck Philly. You know what? Let's talk about Philly. And why I have absolutely zero fear out of Philly. If you watch that game, Philly at halftime went to sleep. Dallas came out with all the momentum in that game. You were sitting here. You were like, don't cry. I'm going to holler at you tomorrow. I'll give you a Care Bear. You'll be okay. I looked at you. I said, relax.
You did.
The long relax. The hard R and the long X. Relax. This is okay.
I agree.
By the time you got home, the score was 3 points from us winning. Now, they had one drive at the end of the game, and I didn't like personally what Dallas was doing. Play the run. Force them to run. I don't care. Jalen Hurts doesn't scare me as a quarterback. Hold on. If you watch that game, what you saw in that game was one-trick pony. The run pass option shit that they do.
That's a 3-trick pony.
Whatever that fucking
that would be a 3-trick
gimmick shit that they do.
Run.
It'll be figured out by hold on, because you'll be over here on Christmas Eve. I know you got the family thing, but you're gonna give me time on Christmas Eve. We'll exchange the presents, and I'll tell you what, on Christmas Eve when we're watching the Dallas Cowboys and we're going live on the air, we got them figured out. B. By the time Christmas comes, there's gonna be no doubt in anybody's mind that the Dallas Cowboys are ready for the playoffs. I thank you.
I hope that the games. I hope that game will be meaningful, because if we look at Dallas Cowboys history, by the time Christmas comes around, those games don't even matter.
Oh, they will. They will. Believe me.
Okay.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry. There's no doubt about that. And that's how we do it for today, kids. We're going to get to more football on the weekend. It was good to have my man back. As always, this is what we do. It is your boy, on behalf of Benz LH, Antoine, and you all know that's LeBron hater. It is me, your board certified fantasy football and all sports guru, saying ciao for now, and we'll see you this weekend with more Brother Stock Ball. Have a good one. Yes, sir.